Hey, Harper, I'm really sorry to bother you at this time of night. I was just wondering if you've already finished work for today? I have a favor to ask, and I could really use some help.
Hey, Paul. Yeah, I finished work ages ago. What's going on? Why are you suddenly asking me this? It's pretty rare that you're asking me for a favor, right? It must be pretty serious if you're asking.
Oh, no, that's not it at all. It's just that I think it might cause you a bit of strife. I tried to figure out the situation myself, but I might need some assistance.
I'm so confused. What are you talking about? What is this favor you want me to do? I'll listen to what you need to explain as much as possible. I think you should just come out and say it.
Okay, then. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? I'm starting to lose track of the days, to be honest. If it's Saturday tomorrow, you'll have the day off work, won't you?
Yes, it's the weekend, so I've got a break from work.
Have you got any plans during your time off? You're not going to be away from your place all weekend.
No, I don't think I've made any particular plans to do anything. Why are you asking me so many questions about my availability? I'm confused.
Well, since you're free tomorrow, could you please take care of my daughter? She's got a bit of a fever, though. My wife and I were wanting to go on our date tomorrow, and we need someone to take care of our daughter while we're out.
You want me to take care of Katie? She's still in preschool, isn't she? If she's got a fever, isn't it best if you cared for her since you know what she's like when she's sick? It would be a shame if I didn't know how to take care of her and her condition got worse.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. It's just that we'd originally planned to go out on a date tomorrow since we haven't in such a long time. We've already made the reservations and we'd lose a lot of money if we were to cancel them now. I'm sure Katie will be fine with you. You're her aunt after all. We'd have to pay a cancellation fee if we chose not to go on this date. I don't want to lose any more money because of my daughter getting sick.
What were your original plans for Katie before she started to feel ill? Was she going on the date with you?
Oh no, we were going to ask her preschool if they could take her because sometimes they're open on the weekends because parents do a lot of overtime on Saturdays. They can look after the child for you if you tell them in advance so they can be added to the roster. Since Katie has a fever, they said they can't take her in case what she has spreads to the other children. Unfortunately, we can't drop her off there, so that's why I'm asking you for help.
I guess you can't do that. That's such a shame that she got sick, though. Is there really nothing else you can do? Have you asked your wife if she could take Katie for the day?
Well, I would prefer it if you looked after Katie since you're my sister and all that. You live a little further away, but I know you'd make the effort, right? I feel like the one person I can trust with Katie is you, Harper. I know you'll take good care of her.
Oh, really? That's a bit of a surprise to me, Paul. I didn't think you'd ever say something like that about me.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Of course I think she'll be the safest with you.
Well, usually it's your wife who takes care of Katie when it comes to this sort of thing. I thought you'd object to me looking after her.
Well, that's why I was looking forward to asking you if you'd look after her, since you haven't had the chance to. She's sick, but what about me? I love my daughter, but as a parent, I need to have a break too. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course I understand. I know you're just trying to do the appropriate thing. So I guess I shouldn't really be surprised that you're asking me for a favor. You just very rarely ask me, that's all.
Yes, that's true, isn't it? I just wanted to ask as I didn't want to spring anything upon you.
No, that's okay. I understand completely. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. What should I do with Katie? It's been a long time since I last saw her, right? Is it okay if I just come to your house to look after her?
When I told her about her Aunt Harper, it seemed like she remembered you. She seems very excited to hang out with you and show you her toys. I think she's really looking forward to seeing her Aunt Harper again and being with my side of the family.
Oh, I see. I wasn't sure if she'd remember me since she's still quite young, but I shouldn't underestimate her memory.
Really? But isn't it good that she does remember you? I mean, I've showed her pictures of you, so you're not a complete stranger to her. And tomorrow is my anniversary, so that's why the wife and I need some time to ourselves. I wanted to plan something for our special day, but I was limited on time and money, so I don't want to cancel our date. I hope this hasn't caused too much trouble for you, Harper. Please look after my little girl for me. That would be very much appreciated.
No, it's no trouble at all, Paul. I get why you don't want to cancel anything. It's fine. It'll be nice to take care of Katie. I'm sure everything will be fine, right?
Yeah, of course. You'll be fine with her. She's very easy to look after, and she'll have lots of fun with you. I'll take her to your house and pick her up in the evening.
Okay, no problem. I'll take good care of Katie while you have a nice time on your date.
Really? You'd do that for me? You're the best sister ever. Thank you so much for helping us out, Harper.
Well, if your wife and Katie are fine with me being there, then it would be wrong of me to not do this favor for you. What time do you think it would be best for me to come over?
I'll come and drop her off first thing in the morning so that Katie has the whole day to be with you. As a thank you, I'll send you some photos of our date while we're out. I'm really looking forward to this date with my wife. Please, have lots of fun hanging out with Katie.
That's sweet, but you don't need to send photos. Just focus on having fun together and eating lots of tasty food. If you want to, you could always get me a little souvenir that I can have in my house. That would be cool. Paul, are you there? I'm really sorry to bother you during your date, but something's happened. Once you get this message, please reply to me straight away. We need to talk.
Hey, sis, I'm really sorry for the late reply. I only just saw your message. I'm just having a really good time on this date right now, so I wasn't paying attention to my phone.
How am I supposed to know what's going on? I thought I was able to get in contact with you easier than this. Aren't you worried about what's happening over here?
Okay, Harper, I don't get why you're so angry right now. You need to chill. By the way, did you see the photo that I sent you? Lunch looked so delicious, right? I tried to take a picture of our hands together, just like the photos I posted on social media. Never mind. What's going on?
Look, I'm sure you're having a nice time, but I don't really care about that at the moment, Paul. There's something wrong with Katie, and I've got no idea what to do about it.
Okay, what's going on? Is she not feeling well? Tell me what's wrong with her.
About an hour ago, her fever started to rise, and it happened pretty suddenly, too, as she was okay one minute, and then she told me that she didn't feel good. She said that she feels more tired now than when I got here to look after her. What should I do about it?
Is that all you've got to say? Fevers in children go up and down all the time. I thought it would be something more urgent than that.
What do you mean, is that it? Your child's sick, for goodness sake. No, that's not it, all right? I'm talking about your daughter here. She's not feeling well at all. And I'm really concerned and don't really know what to do about it.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you need to relax so you can explain what's actually going on. Have you taken her temperature? What is it sitting at?
Her temperature is reading at over 100 degrees. Maybe I should take her to the doctors? I don't know what else to do.
As I expected, I knew you were going to over-exaggerate her condition. When children who are Katie's age get a fever, their temperature normally goes up before it comes back down. She probably just has a little bug in her system. For now, just give her some medicine to help bring the fever down. I'm sure there's some medicine for her in the house somewhere.
Some medicine? The only medicine I found was over-the-counter medicine, and it's only for adults. I don't think it's a good idea to give a little girl this type of medicine, is it?
There's no liquid medication for Katie? Really? I thought there would be. Well, I think you should go to the nearby pharmacy and get some medicine for her. Once she takes it, I'm sure the fever will calm down. I'm sure you'll also calm down after you give the medicine to her as well.
That's not funny, Paul. What an inappropriate thing to say. I'm just trying to look after your sick daughter here. Even though she's your daughter, it seems like you don't want to have anything to do with the situation and hand full responsibility over to me.
There's no need to say things like that to me. You're the one that agreed to look after Katie. Look, I'm busy on this date of mine, okay? I entrusted you to look after Katie, and that's what you should do, all right? You do something about it.
I'm only here to help you. I'm not her mother and need help from you when it comes to her being sick. I feel so stupid asking you for help. She really doesn't look good, so I'm going to take her to the urgent doctors to make sure she's going to be okay.
You're seriously gonna take her to the doctors? What a waste of time and money. She'll be fine. You're overreacting so much right now. She'll be fine if you just let her sleep or something. You don't need to take her anywhere.
Unlike you, I'm actually wanting to take care of this child of yours, okay? I think it's natural to be more cautious about a child being sick, especially when they've got a fever. I don't think you're taking this very seriously at all, Paul.
Well, like I said before, you don't have to take her to the urgent doctors, okay? She's fine.
I'm trying to be a good aunt here and look after Katie. I've already made my decision and I'm going to the doctors. Since I can't find your insurance cards or anything, you can pay for the doctor's bill later. I'm taking her there whether you like it or not.
Hey, you can't just do something without a parent's permission, Harper. Are you kidding me? Harper, answer me. I'm your brother and I need you to answer me.
Hey, come on, this is getting beyond a joke now, Paul. How many times do I have to contact you to get your attention? Please reply to me as soon as possible. I'm not fooling around anymore.
Oh, Harper, I'm sorry for the late reply. I had no idea that my phone was vibrating in my pocket. I just didn't take much notice.
Oh, you didn't notice, huh? You didn't notice that I've been trying to get in contact with you all afternoon? Why haven't you replied to my messages or phone calls? I've been desperately trying to contact you.
I've just been really focused on this date and what I'm doing here that I didn't notice my phone was getting notifications. Are you going to tell me what's going on with Katie or not? Didn't you take her to the urgent doctors or something?
Apart from that, I'm wondering where the heck you are. Didn't you say that you were going to pick up Katie this evening?
Well, about that. There's been a slight change in my plans, you see.
What the heck are you talking about? What slight change? You're coming to get your daughter, aren't you?
I'm sorry, I might be there a little later than I thought. I'll pick up Katie later, okay? My wife just wants a little bit more time together, just the two of us. I'm really sorry to do this to you, but just take care of Katie for a little bit longer, would you?
Are you kidding me right now, Paul? What are you even talking about? Your wife is with me right now.
Wait, what? What do you mean? She's supposed to be with me right now. Why is she even with you?
My sister-in-law told me that she was away on business and that she just got back. You weren't on a date with her at all. I heard that you went and attended your friend's wedding. Is that correct? That's what your wife told me. I am so frustrated right now.
Is this some kind of prank you're pulling, Harper? Because it's a pretty good one. My wife should be next to me right now. Besides, none of that is a concern to me right now. I'm more worried about Katie. How's she doing?
Don't just change the subject. Don't use your daughter to get out of what you're doing. You must know Katie isn't okay, and I took her to the hospital where she can be monitored by the doctors there.
Hold on a minute. Is she that sick? You had to admit Katie to the hospital?
I was trying to tell you that earlier, but you wouldn't take my calls. Fortunately, she's not too sick, but they want to keep an eye on her fever since it's so high. She'll likely be discharged in a week, all right?
Okay, so everything's fine then? She's getting treatment, so that's okay.
Everything's fine? Really, Paul? It's not fine. Do you have any idea how many times I tried to call you to tell you this information? Are you even going to come to the hospital to see Katie or not?
Well, you've already dealt with it, so there's not much more I can do for her. Plus, I'm really busy right now. I can't just leave.
I know that you're lying about being on a date with your wife. Don't even try to play this game with me, Paul. You can't be that busy when you're trying to push the responsibilities of your daughter onto me. Why won't you do anything? You didn't bother picking up the phone, so I called your wife instead. You know that she told me that you weren't on a date with her, right?
That's not it. Now just wait a minute, please, while I get all of this straight in my mind. So it's true that my wife is with you right now?
Oh my God, Paul, how many times do I have to tell you that she's here beside me? Don't you believe anything I'm saying?
No, because I didn't think that she'd be coming home tonight.
She came back to town right after I called her to tell her what happened to Katie, unlike you. I thought that parents didn't do these kinds of things, but I guess you care more about yourself than your child, Paul.
There's no need for that kind of talk right now, Harper. Don't be so rude to me. I guess she's probably more angry now, especially that I entrusted Katie to your care.
I don't think she's as angry as you think she is, but she's very much done with you. She said that she was going to divorce you.
Wait, what? Divorce me? Whatever for? That's got to be some kind of joke, right? Please, forgive me for everything.
I'm going to be honest with you now, brother. I don't really care if you're going out on dates or whatever. Just don't bring me into this mess that you've made.
If that's the case, can't you just make a little excuse for me? Just to explain to my wife why I wasn't with Katie? Are you going to talk to each other about this? Can you please stop her from divorcing me, please? Harper, I don't want to lose my family.
I told you not to drag me into this. Did I say that I'd forgive you for this? I'm pretty sure I didn't. How could you do this to your family? I definitely won't forgive you for abandoning your daughter with me. Do you even know how she was feeling when she got admitted to the hospital?
I think you told me how she was feeling.
No, I didn't. I told you about the fever, not what she said to me. She was crying out for her mom and her dad. Do you know how hard it is to listen to a child cry for their parents? But no, you decided to lie to me and took care of your own matters first. Just disgusting behavior from a father. If you're wanting to be a father, you don't betray your child and do whatever you want.
That was because I didn't know that Katie was in that situation. If I had known about it, I would have gone to the hospital straight away.
It's not that you didn't know, Paul. You just didn't want to know, right? You didn't want to be bothered. Why would you lie to someone like this? You kept telling me these stupid jokes that you needed a break when you really just wanted to hand off your responsibilities to someone else.
Look, I need your help to get out of this or I'll be in big trouble. Can't we do something so that my wife doesn't divorce me?
Why would I want to help you? That's not a possibility anymore. I'll ask my sister-in-law to explain the rest to you. She'll be waiting for you when you come home. I wouldn't make her wait too long. If you'll excuse me, I need to make sure Katie's all right.
Harper, you've got to help me out. My wife was being serious. She's going to divorce me.
Wow, I had no idea that would have happened. You've made your bed, Paul, so you've got to lie in it now.
What? How dare you say something like that to me? Don't you realize that the divorce is partially your fault?
Are you kidding me? How the heck is this my fault? I didn't lie to my family about what I was doing.
The photos that I sent during my date, you were the one that sent them to my wife, weren't you? Thanks to you, she found out about my affair.
You're the one who committed adultery, Paul. You can't pin that one on me. I was just as surprised as her that you were cheating. Wouldn't she have found out you were having an affair without the photo anyway?
If I hadn't taken that photo, it would have just been me and a friend hanging out together, but I couldn't do that because of you. You need to take the blame.
I'll do no such thing because I at least didn't lie to everyone and stab people in the back. You were the worst, Paul. I think your wife's doing the right thing by divorcing you. You shouldn't have sent the photo in the first place.
I thought it would have been better if I sent it, but I guess it backfired. I don't know why you're taking her side. You're not even close friends. I never thought that this would happen. What the heck am I supposed to do now?
You're literally blaming everyone else but yourself. Ugh, unbelievable. You're so annoying.
This is not the time to voice your opinion of me. I might be getting divorced because of you. This is really bad. Don't you get that?
I think my sister-in-law and Katie would be better off without you, to be honest. They don't need someone who cheats and lies in their family. I don't know how you can misunderstand this so much, Paul.
Misunderstand what? What are you talking about, Harper?
That's not the only reason why your wife was to get a divorce from you. Adultery is obviously the worst thing to experience, but the real reason isn't that.
Really? What's the reason? I don't understand why me cheating wouldn't be the reason for wanting a divorce.
Don't you realize that you left your sick daughter alone with basically a stranger so that you could go and have your affair? You prioritized your love affair over your own daughter. Don't you know how messed up that is? Your wife can't forgive you for that. You obviously don't care about the well-being of your own daughter. You're a terrible father, Paul.
Is there seriously nothing that I can do about it? I really don't want to get a divorce. Please help me out, Harper.
Why should I help a man who doesn't care about their child and would rather go out to dinner with another woman? I'm not helping you, not one bit. Also, our parents are cutting ties with you because of this.
No way. They can't do that. I'm their son. My own family can't do this to me. I barely did anything, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gotten caught.
Don't you dare blame me for your crude acts. You're not welcome here anymore or at our parents' house. How dare you do this to your own wife and child? Your dishonesty caused this bad situation to happen. So how about from now on, you live an honest life? But you don't have anyone to show that kind of sincerity anymore. Have fun being alone for the rest of your life. After that, my sister-in-law decided to divorce my brother, Paul. Of course, she had a better track record when it came to take care of Katie, so she got custody of her. Based on the photos Paul sent me, my sister-in-law confronted him and got more evidence of his love affair. She then contacted the lady involved with Paul and requested compensation from them. It's been decided that she'll be given child support as she requested from Paul and will get it until Katie is old enough to look after herself. I learned later on that Paul kept his marriage a secret from the woman he was having an affair with. The other woman found out he was married and that he lied about it and broke up with him. We cut ties with Paul, including my parents. He was truly left alone in the world. My brother deceived everyone, but in the end had nothing left. I don't know how my brother will live his life from now on, but I hope he can live it with a bit more honesty.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Grandma. Are you doing anything today? Is it okay if I come over to your house to see you? Right now?
Right now? Oh, heavens to Betsy, sweetheart, don't be ridiculous. You can't come over now.
But why? Are you busy or something?
No, Judy, look outside. It's raining.
Well, yeah, but so what? I could just use an umbrella or something.
Maybe if it were just a light shower, that might be all right. But it's a torrential downpour. Even with an umbrella, you'll get soaked. And it's also unsafe to cross the street in these conditions. Visibility is so poor that cars will never be able to see you in time to stop. I'm sorry, Judy, but you can't come over today.
I'll be really careful, I promise. So please, can I please come over and see you?
I would love nothing more than to see you, but why are you so desperate to come over today? The forecast shows the rain will stop later on tonight. You can come by and see me tomorrow.
But Grandma, I hate it here. I hate my mom. I want to get out of this stupid house. Can I please come and live with you instead?
Judy, that's no way to talk about your mother.
But she's the worst mom in the world. She's being super mean to me. She makes me stay in my room all day. She won't even let me come out to go to the bathroom. I have to hold it in for hours.
What? Is this some sort of punishment for something you did? Doesn't seem like she'd be that strict on you unless it was something incredibly serious.
It wasn't serious. I didn't even do anything wrong. All I did was go and see my friends.
And she grounded you for that? Oh, that seems excessive. Perhaps you went without her permission or against her wishes.
Well, kind of. I mean, okay, so there's this girl at school who I really like hanging out with, but Mom tells me that I'm not allowed to see her. The other day, we walked home together and spent some time talking at the park nearby before going home. Mom found out about that and went completely berserk.
I see. Why doesn't your mother want you to be friends with that girl? Is there a reason?
Mom says it's because she's too poor. She says that I'm not allowed to play with any poor kids because they would be a bad influence on me. But I don't care about that. I just want to be her friend.
So that's the situation.
What do you think, Grandma? Am I wrong or is my mom wrong? Should I stop being her friend because she's poor?
Judy, you haven't done anything wrong at all. You shouldn't base who you spend your time with on how wealthy or poor they are. That's utterly ridiculous. The only thing that matters when making friends is the content of their character, not their looks, not their money, none of that.
I tried to tell Mom that, but she won't listen to me. Whenever I don't do exactly what she tells me to, she goes crazy. She'll start yelling at me, throwing things around the house, and sometimes she hits me.
What? Your mother is hitting you? That is unacceptable.
You see, Grandma, I hate it here. Mom says she's never gonna let me out of my room except to go to school, ever again. She's being really scary.
She really never lets you out of your room? Not even to go to the bathroom?
Well, if I want to go to the bathroom, I have to ask her first and wait for her permission. If I go by myself and she catches me, she gets mad at me. So yeah, I have to stay in my room all day, from morning to night, even on the weekends.
All right, I've heard enough. I'm going to talk to your mother for you. You leave it to me, Judy. Angela, do you have a moment? I need to talk with you about something important.
Huh? What do you want, Mom?
I take it you're done with work for the day, yes? I spoke to Judy earlier today. She told me some things that were deeply concerning and, quite frankly, disturbing. You need to stop being so harsh on your daughter, Angela.
What are you talking about? I'm not being harsh to her at all.
Don't play dumb with me.
What sort of nonsense has Judy told you this time? I can guarantee you it's all stupid lies.
According to Judy, you're locking her up in her room all day, and you've even been physically violent toward her. Why would you do such awful things? I'll have you know, Judy told me in no uncertain terms that she wants to move out of the house.
Oh my God, I don't believe this. She went and tattled on me to you? What a little brat. I'll have a little talk with her about that later. Anyway, she's just being dramatic and making a big deal of nothing. All I'm doing is teaching her a little discipline.
Discipline? You think this is about discipline? She tells me you force her to stay in her room all day and you won't even let her out to go to the bathroom. That is going way over the line.
Yeah, well, if she would drop the teenager attitude and do what I tell her to do, I wouldn't have to be so hard on her. In any case, this doesn't concern you, Mom. But out of my family's business.
I am your family, Angela. I am your mother, and I'm Judy's grandmother. Judy was so troubled by the way you've been treating her that she asked me for help. So yes, this most assuredly is my business.
And that's another thing I'm going to have to punish her for. She had no business dragging you into this. For the last time, Mom, stay out of this. I'm parenting her in the way that I see fit.
Tell me, Angela, think back to your childhood. Did I ever hit you? Did I ever lock you in your room from morning till night? Did I ever forbid you from even using the bathroom? Where on earth did you get the idea to do such horrible things?
Judy's not the same kind of kid I was, Mom. You have no idea how impossible she is to deal with. She refuses to listen to a word I say. Obviously, a kid like her needs to be dealt with much more harshly than a good kid like me.
You have got to be kidding me. I'm not so old that I've forgotten what you were like as a child. Judy is far better behaved than you ever were. I have no idea where you get off saying otherwise. So no, there is absolutely no justification for you to be harder on her than I was on you.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. You think Judy is better behaved than I was? You don't know anything about her. I have to live with her.
I remember living with you quite clearly, Angela, and you were nothing but trouble.
Oh, come on. You're so full of it, Mom.
Well then, shall I give you a few examples of the sort of mischief you got up to? When you were in 3rd grade, you punched a girl in your class so hard that you broke her nose. In the 8th grade, you stole a boy's pencil case and returned it with all the pencils broken in half.
They both had that coming for being jerks to me. I didn't do anything wrong.
I wish I could go back in time. I should have made more of an effort to discipline you properly. I suppose this also has much to do with your father spoiling you rotten.
Dad didn't spoil me. He just loved me. You know, like parents are supposed to do. He wasn't always nagging at me like you were.
It was difficult for us to conceive since we started so late in our lives. Your father was so happy when you were born that he simply couldn't bring himself to ever tell you no. And as a result, you turned out exactly like I feared, selfish and vain. I can't throw all of the responsibility on your father, though. I share the blame as well. I'm your mother, after all.
Who do you think you are, anyway? You can't talk to me like that. I'm your daughter.
I'm telling you what you need to hear, precisely because you're my daughter. Consider this my warning to you, Angela. You need to treat Judy better, and you need to start immediately. If you don't, you will regret it. I'll make sure of that.
Are you really going to sit there and lecture me like I'm still a child, Mom? I'm not a little kid anymore, Mom. I'm not living in your house, and I'm not living under your rules.
Judy is not a possession. She's your daughter. Moreover, she'll be in middle school soon. She's more than old enough to make decisions for herself. You need to back off and allow her room to grow.
She's a child. I can't let her make her own decisions. Are you insane? If I let her make her own decisions, she's going to end up addicted to drugs, pregnant, in jail, or some combination of the three.
You aren't giving Judy anywhere near the credit she deserves. I know that girl is as smart as they come. You can trust her. Unless you let her run her own life to the extent she's capable of, she'll never grow. At the very least, she's more than capable of choosing her own friends.
No. She can't do that. There's nothing, not one thing that Judy can do by herself. She needs me to be there for her, to guide her, to lead her.
Are you really going to keep micromanaging her like this? Won't you let her have any say in where she goes, what she does, who she sees? You seem to have forgotten that your daughter is a human being.
I know exactly what you're doing, Mom. I know exactly what you're doing. You're going to try and steal Judy away from me.
What are you going on about now? You think I'm going to take her away from you? Why on earth would I do a thing like that?
I always thought it was weird how much Judy liked you. Now I get it. You've been planning this all along. You're luring Judy in with sweet, tender lies, confusing her, making her like you more than me. All you can take her away from me. Well, I'm not going to let that happen.
Get a hold of yourself. What's going on with you, Angela? You need help, dear. Please, would you come with me to a place where we can talk to someone that can give you the help you need?
I'm not going to let you gaslight me like this. I'm not crazy. You are. Yeah, that's it. You've gone crazy. You're getting dementia or Alzheimer's or something. Go move into a nursing home or something and stay out of my life.
Angela, I didn't want to have to do this, but you may be leaving me with no choice. Would you like me to talk to your husband about this?
Don't you dare. If you even think about telling my husband about anything, I will never speak to you again. Leave me alone.
No, Grandma, it can't be. I can't believe that you're gone. Why? Why did you die and leave me all alone, Grandma?
What? What in the devil are you talking about? I'm still as healthy as a horse. I feel like I've got at least another 30 years in me.
Huh? Grandma! You're alive? Is that really you? Are you really alive?
If I wasn't, how could I be sending you these texts right now? Good grief, as if the last week hasn't been strange enough. Now my own granddaughter thinks I'm a zombie.
But my mom said that you... Wait, what's going on?
That's what I'd like to know myself. Could you please calm down for a moment and explain what happened to you?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll start over. So, I went over to your house this morning. I don't know, I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to get away from my mom no matter what. But when I got there, it was totally empty. You weren't there.
Oh, I see. I was out for the morning. That's why I wasn't home.
And then all of a sudden, I turned around and saw my mom running toward me. And that's when she told me that you were dead. She said you were dead and that I'll never see you again.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable first that your mother told you that, and also unbelievable that you believed it.
But I tried calling your phone and you didn't answer.
Yes, as I told you, I was out of the house and wasn't checking my phone. I had it turned off, actually. I was in the middle of a funeral for an old acquaintance of mine.
Oh, Grandma, I'm so glad you're alive. When I heard that you were gone and I'd never see you again, I didn't know what I was gonna do. All I could do was cry.
Don't worry, Judy. I'm going to live so long you're going to get sick of me before the end.
I'll never get sick of you, Grandma. I love you. I want to be with you forever.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I don't get it. Why would my mom lie to me like that?
I'd imagine it was to try and keep you away from me. Your mother isn't appreciative of how fond you are of me.
I'll never let her keep us apart. I'm gonna get her for this.
No, Judy, you'll do no such thing. You're going to leave your mother to me. I'll deal with her.
Really?
Yes, really. Before I do, though, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Are you serious about wanting to run away from your mother? You're really all right with never seeing her again?
Yes! I don't need my mom. All I need is you, Grandma.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Angela. You told Judy I had died? You have no idea what kind of pain you caused her.
You found out about that already? That sucks. I would have really appreciated if you could get things moving in that direction, though.
Excuse me? If I'm not mistaken, you just told your own mother that you wished she were dead.
Yeah, and so what if I did? It's your own fault. You shouldn't have tried to come between me and my daughter. You should have just kept your mouth shut, like Dad always did back when he was alive.
Unfortunately, I'm not quite as much of a pacifist as your father was. I'm not afraid of picking a fight with someone who abuses their own children.
Yeah, well, you ought to be. Can't you ever just mind your own business? Seriously, go find a hole and crawl in it.
I warned you, Angela. Change the way you're treating Judy or else. From the way you're talking to me now, it would seem that you've chosen the or else option.
Duh. I don't need to change anything about myself. And I'm not afraid of your stupid threats.
I thought that's what you would say. Well, then I suppose I've made the right decision after all.
Huh? What decision?
One of my neighbors has a son who works in the local government. When I talked to him about you and Judy, he told me that I would be well within my rights to contact Child Protective Services about you.
You wouldn't dare.
I already did, and I already contacted Judy's school as well.
You what?
I knew that nothing I could ever say to you would get you to change your ways, so I decided that my only option was to take Judy away from you by force.
You have no right to do that to me. She's my daughter. I'm her mother. You can't take her away from me.
You may have given birth to her, but the behavior I've seen from you lately shows me that you don't deserve to call yourself her mother. You have hurt Judy both emotionally and physically, and I won't allow it to continue.
I will never let her go. She's mine. I'm going to sue you for this, and I'm going to tell my husband about what you're doing. He is not going to be happy.
You're absolutely right about that, Angela. He isn't happy at all. I've already told him about everything.
Oh, you went to the trouble and turned yourself in, huh? That makes my work easier. We're going to hire the best lawyer in the state and sue the pants off of you. He went to law school. He knows a bunch of lawyers.
You don't understand, Angela. Your husband is very unhappy with you. So much so, in fact, that he's planning to divorce you.
What?
I realized when we spoke last that you weren't solely to blame for what you're doing to Judy. Your husband needs to rein you in. So I called him to give him a piece of my mind. It seems that he was leaving Judy's care solely up to you.
Obviously, yeah. It's my job to take care of her.
Yes, and you are failing miserably at that job. I told him that as Judy's father, he has a sacred responsibility to defend his daughter.
Oh, so he just took everything you said at face value? He trusted you over me? I'm his wife.
He didn't take my word for it. He talked to Judy himself. And when he did, let me tell you, it was quite the shock for him. Perhaps the most shocking thing was that Judy had never talked to him about you before.
Oh, now he wants to play the part of Judy's knight in shining armor. He's never been much of a part of her life before.
Indeed, which is precisely why Judy didn't trust him enough to go to him for help. He called me later on and profusely apologized. He seemed very sincere on the phone. He decided that the only way for him to protect her from you was to divorce you.
This is insane. The two of you are teaming up. You turned my own husband against me.
You did a fine job of that all by yourself. Besides, I didn't tell him to divorce you. It was Judy that convinced him to do that. She really, really wants to get you out of her life, it seems.
All right, let's say for a minute that he actually goes through with it. He divorces me and somehow wins full custody of Judy. What happens then? He's never so much as changed a single diaper for Judy. How is he going to raise her by himself?
He won't have to. I'll be there to support him. I'll be the one who looks after Judy whenever he's busy with work. That was a request of Judy's as well.
And how are you gonna handle her? You're old. Not to mention, how's he gonna make ends meet without my income? He can't afford the mortgage and his salary alone.
You don't think I was prepared for that? I'll be able to help him out with whatever he needs until he gets everything sorted out for himself.
Are you joking? You're living off Social Security payments. How much money could you possibly give him?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. I've got plenty of money to throw around.
Wait, you do? You never told me you had any money lying around.
Yes, that was intentional. I inherited a rather large sum of money from my parents. It's more than enough to support Judy until she's able to start living on her own.
You had that much money? Why didn't you ever tell me about that?
Because you have the financial sense of a drunken gambling addict. Don't tell me you forgot about how I paid off the debt you had incurred back before you were married. I was terrified of how much worse you would be if you thought you could rely on my money to finance your lifestyle.
But I still can, right? I'm your heir, aren't I?
I intend to burn through all of my estate before you would be set to inherit anything.
Why? Sounds like you're the greedy one, not me.
I'm not going to use it on myself, silly girl. I'm going to use it on Judy.
Wow, Mom. Rao, you're really gonna screw your own daughter over like this? You're the worst mother ever.
After the way you've treated your own mother, daughter, and husband, I don't think you're in any position to judge me.
Screw you, Mom. I hate you.
There was a time when I would have been saddened to hear you speak to me like that. But not anymore. The time has come for you to take responsibility for the life you've lived, and I'm not bailing you out this time. Angela's husband divorced her a short time later. Thanks to the call I made to Child Protective Services, Angela lost custody of Judy as well. As for Judy, she still comes to visit me quite often, even now that her parents have divorced. Her father works late often, so she stays at my house for the afternoon most days of the week. I must admit it can be quite hectic to have a young girl like her around the house so often, but as her grandmother, it does make me quite happy to be able to watch her as she grows. She really is a darling girl with a bright personality, even after going through so much. Honestly, it's impressive how resilient she's been throughout this whole ordeal. That she even thought to confide in me in the first place is remarkable. Frankly, I don't see why she's so interested in spending all this time with a cynical old woman like myself. I occasionally receive messages from Angela as well. Unsurprisingly, she hasn't learned a single thing even after all this time. She still thinks she's the innocent victim and that it's my fault that she lost her husband and daughter. It gets quite exhausting having to have the same conversation with her over and over again. But I consider it a part of my responsibility as her mother to do everything I can to get her to see the error of her ways. So, burdensome as it may be, I will continue to rebuke her every time she throws some ridiculous accusation my way. If possible, I'd like to see her have a change of heart before I kick the bucket, but I'm not hopeful. I'm so glad that Judy didn't turn out like my fool of a daughter.